Hello and welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor and tonight I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. This is a horoscope for Pisces. If Pisces is your solar, lunar, ascendant / rising sign, then this is a message for you. All right, let's get started. And so this is a bonus reading for Pisces. And our card is from Tarot of the Abyss, and it is the Ten of Cups. Ten of Cups. Hello, T. Okay, let's see what these tea leaves have to say tonight. And so if you have not subscribed yet, please think about doing that. You can hit the little bell. It'll let you know when the next videos are coming out. It is free to subscribe. Okay. Okay, let's see. So I want to start over here. We have, it looks like a horse. You can see the head here, and this is kind of where the nose would be. The head over here, and here are the legs, and the body is kind of back here. And so it looks like it is kind of, I would say galloping, and it's kind of, well, what you think of wild horses running, and they're shaking their heads around and their hair is flying, and there's a sense of openness and freedom and you know, what if you've ever been in a wide open space where you can imagine horses running. And I felt like this the first time I went to Wyoming. I was driving through, and I stopped somewhere and got gas, and then kind of walked out over closer to the road, and it was just a wide open space. And I was not from the prairie. I live in the north, but it's the prairie still. And so now it doesn't feel as, I mean, it's still very beautiful, but I remember that moment thinking, this is God's country. This is where, you know, this is where spirit is thick. I mean, the air, you can't hear anything because the wind is blowing, you know, and it's this wide open space, and the sky is so blue, and it goes on forever and ever and ever. And if there were a place ever anywhere in the world that it felt like you were standing there, just fully embraced by the divine, it would be there in that moment there. And this is what this feels like. I mean, this is, you can imagine the vein of, you know, hundreds of wild horses cutting through those open lands. Their hooves hitting the ground like a heartbeat, right? And I feel like you are in a place where it's like you are coming home to yourself. You are coming home to your home of homes. You are entering that era of life where you don't feel like you have to be searching all over the place looking for something that means even just a little bit. You have suddenly kind of come over the hill and into the wide open, and here it is. This is, you know, this is where there's magic. This is where, you know, all of your ancestors lie. This is where, you know, the creek speaks to you, the wind speaks to you, the grass, you know, as it folds beneath the wind, it sings you a song. All of the leaves dancing on the trees, they're telling you, you know, the secrets of eternity. And This is your place. You know, this is your place. And I feel there's a sense of rising confidence in your life. This isn't a confidence of pride. This is a confidence of ease and just knowing that things will happen as they do. And no matter what you think of it, it is going to be what it is. You know, we only have so much that we can control in life, and that is basically nothing. But what we can control is how will we meet it? How will we meet our ordeals? How will we meet our blessings? You know, how will we decide to show up or not, right? And I think that this is it. I mean, this is where you go from, okay, I'm an adult now, to, okay, I am a person who has lived. I'm a person who has experienced things. I am of substance, and I have some deep knowledge and even deeper wisdoms about the world, about life, about being a conscious entity. And I think that there's a sense of, and we have a person here standing, and it looks like they have a bird kind of on maybe their hand or wrist over here. We also have an A, okay, an A right there. And it looks like they are, they're saying something. There's an utterance, you know, maybe singing, maybe a phrase. But whatever it is, there is this sense of becoming, you know, the magic being, becoming the shaman, becoming the seer, becoming the high priest, right? Priestess, high priest, high priestess, hierophant, and having initiated into this next portion of life. I feel like you are somebody who will lead others. I think you are somebody who will help people on their healing journey. Now, will you do this directly? I don't know. But I do think you have the ability to create spaces. I think that you have the ability to create artworks that touch people, that make people feel like they can relate to something. You have the ability to use words and you know, the resonance of emotionality in whatever it is that you are creating and sharing. That really does change the life of others. You know, I think that there are people that kind of show up at your doorstep, you know, figuratively, but they show up and you are somebody who is a home to many, right? You feel very familiar. And I think that this is because so few of us ever get to that place of returning to our sacred home, our sacred lands. And that doesn't have to be a physical place, by the way. But when you come across somebody who has, you know, they have a whole different vibe. Their aura is completely unlike 99% of the people you will come across in the world. And that is not to say anybody is doing it better or they're, you know, more advanced or whatever it is. They just happen to have put the work into this aspect of their being. And when we meet people like this, they are instant friends. They are family. They are spirit kin. And I think that you are somebody who is that to others. And I'm sure that you attract people who are in like places. And so I feel like this is really a turn in a place of power for you. I feel like you absolutely are living the dream, you know. And so now, you know, I think that with all of this happening, and here we have another horse. You can see right here, this one has somebody kind of sitting atop. There's a sense of figuring out, what am I going to do with this wildness, this, I think of the wild horse as being something like the Ace of Wands, right? This fiery energy. Just an enormous amount of passion, sensuality, desire, need, and just an understanding of these feelings in a very real way, of these channels of whatever energies flowing through you. I mean, they are the veins of life here. And so I feel that the thing that you are kind of figuring out is like, how are you going to apply this to a life that is sustainable for you? What kind of work can you do with this? How can you implement this into existing work? In your pursuit of finding resources in life. And let's be real, this is a big part of how we survive our days. We have to do something. If it's not making money, it is at least finding things to eat and some kind of, hopefully, shelter, or a place to be that is safe, and so on. I feel that you're coming into a place of being able to kind of ride that wild stallion, and finding, and it is very much that you are creating this, but it is also that the universe is showing you opportunities. Doors are being flung open for you. I could see you being offered jobs, or having a position in some kind of existing business, or whatever it is, but also maybe starting your own kinds of businesses or business, and making use of this passion that you have, this ability that you have to connect with others. And then we have the butterfly up here. So I feel like it is a sense of spirit really connecting with you and kind of urging you on. But I also feel like there is a metamorphosis where you're seeing your potential and ability. You're not questioning yourself like maybe you have before. And I think that you're also in a place where you are willing to be diligent to your dreams, to your goals, and meet them. Okay. So we also have a 20, if that is, that's a number that came up, and maybe that is important in some way for you. We also have an 8, 85 right here, 85. And now this one I also wanted to look at. We have 2 people with their arms raised towards the sky. So the other part of this is, it is a sense of, devotion, awe. I think of these postures often, when I see the face raised, the chin up, eyes gazing towards the sky, if the hand or arm is raised, they remind me of these Mesopotamian, and I think they maybe are Akkadian, but I might be wrong. But they are a series of statues, and they're called the votive statues. And they think that they were some kind of offering or depiction of these beings with big eyes, huge eyes. I mean, they look like they're, you know, very dilated pupils, and they're looking upwards towards the sky. And so they call them, you know, votive, that they are depictions of somebody in a sense of awe, or experiencing divine, or something akin to like maybe the ecstasy of Saint Teresa. But whenever I see this posture, I think, yeah, this is a time when it's like I really am experiencing the divine. It is right here for me. It feels, it's like a palpable feeling. I can't help but look, you know, I can't help but, my mouth is hanging open, and I'm seeing this miraculous thing happen in my life. And I know that spirit is here with me. I know that God is here with me, goddess, the divine, the cosmic consciousness, you know, kind of smiles upon me. And I am taken fully by that. And I will give my life to the pursuit of this agape. And this is very much about finding your way home. You know, this is, I don't feel that we can get into these places of our interior temple or landscape that surrounds the temple, the journey that we must go on, if there's not a sense of faith and grace and gratitude and devotion. You know, and it doesn't, here at this channel, I'm not talking about one religion or any certain way to do this. You know, the quote I always mess up, but I can never remember it directly. But, you know, the sentiment is that there are as many paths to God or the divine as there are beings in this, or on earth, right? Or in this universe. So as many consciousnesses, points of consciousness that there are in the infinite universes, so there are paths to God or the divine, right? So it is individual to each of us. There is no right or wrong way. You know what is for you. Nobody else can tell you that. But I believe that we have to have this aspect. There has to be some kind of higher power or something more than ourselves. Or at least that we are excavating aspects of self, because all parts of our experience are just reflections of our ultimate being, right? We can also look at it that way. But yeah, I think this is a time where there's the journey home, and you are there, you're going, you are in that wind that is whipping around you, and finding your way back to that sunny place out on the range. Okay, let's see. Now we have two ducks that look like they're fighting. And then we have it looks like two people embracing. So, or about to embrace. So I do feel like there's been, maybe within like the family, some kind of disagreement, some kind of stressful event going on. And within that stressful event, there's been a disagreement. But I do think that there's a sense of something bigger going on. And maybe this is a health issue with somebody in the family. But there is this sense of like, okay, we have to kind of like squash this thing. It is a symptom of stress. Okay, so we got to stop fighting, because it is ultimately affecting the greater, you know, health of the family. And there are other things to worry about right now. So I think that's something that's important to think about, especially if you're going through something with your family members, and it's kind of like we just kind of got to pull together because something, you know, something bigger is happening here. And we don't need to be bickering over silly things, you know, that feel like they don't feel silly in the moment, but they are absolutely do not constitute any kind of need to be, you know, in a big tussle. You know, we need to focus on the matter at hand here. So let's take a look. We have the divine doors, and we're going to check out what these doors have to say tonight. And I just like to stop wherever it feels right. And we're going to take a look. This looks beautiful. I'm moving in tomorrow. I love it. Right into the side of this kind of mountain hill here. It looks kind of mossy. I like that. It says nomad. The nomadic wanderer lies deep inside, so take the leap now. Don't crawl back and hide. Yeah. Although we're like wandering home, okay? Don't get it wrong, card. I think this card is opposing my views here tonight. No, I think probably, you know, you have somewhat of a nomadic energy somewhere inside of you. Although I can't imagine Pisces being very nomadic, I have to say. I feel like whenever I think about Pisces, it's like somebody who's kind of a homebody. But maybe, you know, maybe I've got it wrong. You know, the longer I'm doing these readings, I'm learning a lot more about each sign. I didn't always think that much about it, to be honest. And now it's like every person I meet, I'm guessing with myself, wow, what are you? What are your 3 main placements? All right. You can tell I'm getting a little silly. So it is time for bed for me. I am going to go ahead and tell you I love you, and I do, and I do, and I do. And I thank you so much for spending this time with me. It is always such an honor to be able to bring these messages to you. And if you would be so kind as to like the video, it really does help the channel so much. And if you haven't subscribed, please think about doing that. You can hit that little bell. It'll let you know when the next videos are coming out, and it is free. It is free to subscribe. If you'd like to leave a comment, please do. I read them all, and they mean the world to me. And if you have not subscribed to my husband's channel, he is over at Dove and Serpent Tarot. His name is Paul. He's amazing. And he's almost at 200K subscribers. Go over there, give him some love. Check out some of his readings. And give him a sub there. I'm trying to help him get to 200K by the end of the weekend. And he probably will do it without any of my help, I'm sure. He's something to behold, truly. So, with that, again, I'll tell you I love you. Take care of yourself. We'll talk in just a few days.